We're getting into effective living series shortly, where we're looking at business system strengthening. Petra Trust and Hallmark Consultancy, Freight and Consultancy.
The only thing I see is beautiful people.
Hallmark Freight and Consultancy Ghana Limited. Proud to be associated with the Effective Living series. Happy to be talking to Theodore Albright. We've had him a number of times. He's made so much great impact in us. And we're going to continue specifically today. We're looking at business system strengthening. Theodore Albright, it's a great pleasure to welcome you back to the studio.
It's a real pleasure to be here this
Wonderful.
morning. Yeah.
Wonderful. So what's the approach to today's conversation? How do you want to structure it?
So indeed, I'll start off with a definition, a structured definition of systems strengthening.
Right.
And then I'll give you the runaway definition. So we'll have a complex definition and a simple definition.
Right.
And then we'll unpackage the why and the what and the how of the business systems strengthening.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it.
Okay, so straight off, why would you want to strengthen your systems? Why would you want to do that?
Okay.
And you want to do that to get better, to be better, and ultimately, if you're a business, you want to optimize for efficiency. I describe systems as a discrete set of independent activities which require little or no intervention for the implementation of a given purpose. Now that's a mouthful, but just remember these. Discrete set of activities, that is one. It requires little or no intervention, that is two, for the implementation of a given purpose, that is number three. Okay. And so in essence, what you're doing is you're looking for problems, challenges, and difficulties that you have or anticipate. Then you build a set of predictive models around those problems so that you can plug and play. Now, basic examples of systems are human resources, finance systems, security systems, supply chain systems, operational systems, administrative systems, quality control systems, and community.
So for a lot of Ghanaians, we get to encounter systems when we are paying fees or you're trying to make a call and they say, oh, the system is down.
Yes.
The system is down.
And that refers to your technology or IT system.
Fantastic.
But it is only one of many systems. Okay. So I've given you the complex definition. The simple definition is that systems are a prop. P-R-O-P. Systems are a predictable, repeatable operating process.
Predictable,
repeatable operating process. So systems are a prop, and they behave with a predictive, repetitive feedback loop. All right? And so we come back to the why systems is because you're seeking a predictable, repeatable outcome for operational excellence.
Operational excellence.
That is one of the ultimate objectives of putting in the systems. And you strengthen the systems because you're seeking optimization, clarity, adherence for execution excellence.
You are strengthening because you're seeking optimization, clarity, adherence for execution excellence. So that if you're managing a number of outlets or shops, we are talking about fuel stations now. So you're looking at execution excellence so that your customers will have the same quality of experience or service everywhere they go.
It is repeatable, it is predictable, and it has a feedback loop. All right. So let's play the clarity game. And the clarity game is essentially what you must start with on this journey to systems strengthening.
Right.
And I call it post.
Post, P-O-S-T.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the clarity game is post.
Right.
The first thing is you need clarity of purpose.
Ooh.
What is our purpose as a business? Okay. If you're going to strengthen your systems, you need to understand your purpose.
Right.
Clarity of objectives. What are our quantifiable objectives?
Okay.
Okay, so you will describe purpose in a qualitative way. We want to give you fuel for free, all right? But you will describe objectives in a quantitative way.
Right.
So every gallon you get 10% off.
Oh.
Okay, so you must be able to quantify the objectives.
So the purpose deals with the qualitative way.
Qualitative.
And then the objectives then drills it down to the
qualitative,
the numbers.
quantitative, the
Right,
numbers.
right.
The numbers are important,
Right.
but the descriptors are also very important.
Right.
Beyond that, then you have clarity of strategy. How do we win the game? So I heard you talk about Star and Goyle and that competitive environment. And Star is asking, how do we win this game?
Exactly.
Do we do it on price or differentiation, cost
Right.
leadership or differentiation strategy? Goyle is saying, okay, so we're going to look and make sure that we reduce our price to match.
And then
So-
add some breakfast.
and I add some breakfast for free. So here now you have a price or cost leadership
Right.
as well as a differentiation strategy which says we are giving you breakfast for free.
Right.
So how do we win the game? What is our strategy for winning the
So
game?
strategy has got to do with the house.
The house, yes.
Purpose has got to do with the,
The whys.
why, and then the objective is the
What? Yeah.
I like it.
And then lastly, clarity of tasks and tactics.
Tactics. Ooh.
What are the tasks and initiatives we undertake to win?
Tax and tactics.
Tasks and tactics,
Tactics,
or
right.
strategic initiatives we need to
Right.
undertake
Right.
to win the game. So you've got your purpose, why are we here? Your objectives, quantifiable,
Right.
and then your strategy, how we win the game,
Right.
and then your tactics and your task.
Right.
Those are your strategic initiatives.
Okay.
Those underlining activities that you undertake in order to win the game.
So that is the clarity game.
That is the post. That's the clarity game you
Right.
propose. So you cannot just dive into strengthening your systems without knowing what the systems are: financial systems, operating systems, quality systems. All of those must be very clear.
So let's bring it home. I am a small business.
Yeah.
We started business 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We're focused on delivering quality breakfast for the middle class.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, we have a shop or two.
Yeah.
One on campus, another in a very busy area in town.
Yes, okay.
And we want to play the clarity game.
Yeah.
How do we go about this?
So your starting point is, what is my purpose?
Okay.
Okay, my purpose is to give you affordable food, at pleasant quality food at an affordable price.
Right.
Okay? That is my purpose. So that runs through everything that we do, and often the purpose doesn't change.
Right.
Okay, so what are my objectives? My objectives are to become the leading provider of quality, affordable food in Ghana. And we will do that by being in 400 shops
Right.
and 20 universities
Right.
on the continent of Africa or in Ghana. So
Right.
now you can quantify
Okay.
where we're going to do. And how do we do that? We will do that strategically by offering maybe half measure foods, pre-packaged foods,
Okay.
frozen foods, pre-bagged wache,
Right.
or pre-bagged kokonte,
And
or-
timely delivery.
and timely
in terms of
delivery.
the delivery, maybe
Yes.
half the price of the delivery.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Okay.
do they have to come to us? Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe we'll go to them.
Right.
Or they simply, strategically, they go online, they order, and we are linked to one of the delivery services. I'm not going to mention their
Right.
names, and they deliver to you.
Okay.
We deliver wherever you are
Right.
within 30 minutes.
Great.
Okay. Or we position ourselves at traffic light spots,
Right.
or we position ourselves in different campuses.
Right.
However we do it,
Right.
but that will be our strategy. This is how we're going to win the game. Then you take the discrete little activities,
Right.
okay, which make up your operations,
Right.
and then you deliver.
Right.
But at every level of the activity chain, what sort of human beings do we want? HR systems.
Okay.
What sort of technology do we use? IT systems. What sort of financing do we need? Financing systems. What sort of operations do we need? What sort of quality do we need?
Right.
Okay. You need to call out and identify each one of these systems, and we're going to go through a process
Right.
of that. But the attribute of all good systems is that you have a clear purpose,
Okay.
interconnected activities, because it
should not be in silos.
they should not be in silos, so they should be interconnected.
Right.
So you should know the net effect of each department on the other.
Right.
It is process driven.
Right.
You set out the boundaries, who stays where
Right.
and who doesn't stay here.
Right.
Have a feedback loop so that if it is going wrong, you can hear we. You know,
Right.
when you pinch, you should hear we. If you don't have feedback, then you don't know when it's going wrong.
Right.
It should be repeatable, easily repeatable.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to reinvent the wheel. It should be predictable.
Right.
It should be auditable.
Right.
All right, and driven by vision, values, and a value proposition with clear means, end, and learning goals.
Clear means end
And learning goals. How are we going to do it?
Okay.
What is the end that we require?
Right.
And what is the learning that we need to undertake in order to get to where we want to be?
Some R&D is happening here.
A lot of R&D and a lot of learning needs to take
Go
place.
into this.
But I come back. Examples. I'm going to give you the examples of the
Critical areas for audit.
So human resources systems,
Right.
finance systems, security systems,
Right.
supply chain systems,
Right.
operational systems, administrative systems,
Correct.
quality control systems,
Right.
communication systems.
Okay.
You should have clarity on the how.
Right.
You should know where we are going.
Okay.
We should know what we should avoid.
Right.
We should know what we should accept. We should know how we can adapt, and we should know how we can align. So let me say this again.
Okay.
We should have absolute clarity on the process.
Right.
Okay, where are we going? What do we avoid, accept, adapt, and align with the strategy?
Okay.
You should be asking all of these questions.
So where are we going? How are we going? What should we avoid? What should we accept? What should we adapt? How should we align?
Yeah, okay.
All these are very important. When you look at these critical areas of systems to adapt, which would you say is the most important?
The human being.
So the human resource.
The human resource. And I tell you what, you see, it is easy to replicate all systems
Right.
apart from human beings. There are 8.4 billion people on the planet. Every single one of us is different.
Right.
Okay? And so human beings are actually the ultimate sustainable competitive advantage. Let me repeat. Human beings are your ultimate sustainable competitive advantage, not AI. Human beings are your ultimate sustainable competitive advantage. Okay? Because human beings are unique. Each one of us is a monopoly, and you can exploit that monopoly of one.
And I guess for all the systems, the most complex and difficult to handle is
It's
the human beings.
And so it is critical in every operation, okay, that you spend and focus on how you elevate the minimum viable product, that is the human being.
Right.
Okay, what I mean by that is you must raise the floor, FLOOR.
Right.
Raise the floor by growing the minds of your team.
Growing the minds of your team.
Growing the minds of the team. You know, everything rises and falls on leadership, and leadership rises and falls on mindset.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
The mindset is the lens through which we interpret and navigate the world. So your mind is the interface between you and the world.
I like
okay? And when you grow the mind, it means there is better thinking.
Right.
And when there is better thinking, there is better doing.
Right.
And when there is better doing, there is better being.
Right.
And when there's better being, there are better outcomes.
I love it.
You cannot use suboptimal thinking to obtain optimized
Results.
outcomes.
Right.
Okay? At best, optimized thinking will give you a better outcome.
Optimized thinking will give you
A better outcome. But suboptimal thinking will never give you optimized outcomes. Never. So when your outcomes are suboptimal, you should audit your thinking.
So I guess when institutions are recruiting and they are trying to assemble their human resource, they're looking at the quality of thinking of the people they are recruiting.
Absolutely.
The character.
Absolutely.
And then building on the technical.
Absolutely. But the two things, right? And there are two poles.
Right.
One is the aptitude and the other is the attitude.
Okay.
You can always grow aptitude, but it's very difficult to change attitude.
Okay.
So when you are recruiting, you should recruit for both aptitude and attitude.
Right.
But given a choice, I will take aptitude every time. Because if the mother or the father could not change the person in their attitude, it is not you who is going to. The teacher couldn't do it, the parents couldn't do it, the church couldn't do it. It is not you, the manager, that is going to change the nasty attitude.
That's a lifetime journey.
That's a lifetime. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moving on.
Yeah. So I've spoken plenty, Brofo. So come down to it.
Yes.
The minimum viable process is to audit your current process with a SWOT analysis.
Okay.
That is simple. Everybody knows strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay. Just look at your systems and ask, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what are the opportunities, and what are the threats.
Right.
Okay. But on the larger scale, the audit should consider assessment of the current systems, anticipate where we are and need to go, avoid what will give us danger or put us in a hole, accept what we can't change, adapt where we must, and align. Okay, so there must be clarity on the process by your assessment. You must anticipate where you want to go as an organization. We're selling food. We must know what we must avoid. Okay? We must accept what we can't change. We must adapt where we can. And we must always work in alignment with our strategy.
So I'm a new branch manager for an SME or savings and loan somewhere, and I'm thinking about systems change, strengthening the systems and all of that.
Yeah.
We've had end of year meetings. We're beginning the year. I'm going through all this.
Yeah.
How do I use this model to prepare myself and train the team so I optimize their mindset and get the optimized results I'm looking for?
Okay, so leadership, and this is my definition of leadership. Leadership is a cognitive orientation and a process whereby you seek to inform, inspire, and influence yourself and then others to think better, do better, be better for positive impact and positive outcomes. This is Albright's definition of leadership. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it. Leadership is a cognitive orientation, that is a mindset, and a process whereby you, me, we seek to influence ourselves. You influence through values. Inform ourselves. We inform by value proposition. Inspire ourselves. We inspire by a vision, which is a great picture of the future, to think better. So you are influencing, informing, and inspiring to think better. To do better. To be better. For positive impact and positive outcomes. Okay? So your starting point is you. Okay? Am I growing my mind to think better, do better, be better by influencing, inspiring, and informing? Okay? And then, like I said, influence is through values. Inspiration is through a vision. Okay, information is the value proposition or the benefit we give the customer. Okay, so if you are driving through values, driving through vision, driving through a value proposition.
Yeah.
You must learn to inform yourself and then the others in your team to begin to think, do, be better. That is the starting point.
Wow.
So the starting point is relationship. Because influence is relationship. You know, and to be honest, in this dispensation, we call something Leadership 4.0.
Right.
In the Leadership 4.0 dispensation, you cannot have a top-down dictatorial type leadership style.
Right.
It still applies. It applies in the army. It applies in the emergency services. Okay, there is a place for it.
Right.
But the vast majority now is more about influence and inspiration. Now, influence is an emotional, inspiration is an emotional, information is a logical.
Right.
Okay? And as human beings, we are emotional before we are rational. Hello?
Right.
As human beings, we are emotional before we are rational.
Because influence and inspiration are emotional.
Yes.
And then information is
rational. So you see that when you do the computation, okay, the denominator is 3, the numerator is 2 for emotion, 1 for rationality.
Okay.
And that is how you lead in Leadership 4.0 in this dispensation with Gen Z and with Gen Alpha.
That means really that the leadership actually starts from yourself.
Absolutely. The first person you lead is you. Okay?
Right.
If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead anybody else.
Sure.
Okay? And I've often said that the acid test for leadership is chaos. Okay? The absence of chaos is an acid test of the presence of great leadership.
Right.
And the presence of chaos is an acid test for the absence of leadership. So that is just an acid test. Just cast your eyes around the world.
Right.
Where is the chaos?
Right.
You know there's no leadership.
Where isn't there chaos?
You know there's leadership.
Oh my word. Effective Living Series. Theodore Albright, we have in the studio managing consultant, the Family Office Africa, and we're talking business system strengthening. If you're looking for chaos, wherever you find chaos, there is no leadership, and where you find, leadership, then there is no chaos, because leaders are always inspiring, they are informing, they are influencing. And in this new generation of Leadership 4.0, we have moved from the regimented leadership, command and control.
Yes.
We are dealing with relational leadership, inspirational, influential leadership over the regimented command and control approach.
Indeed, if you're a pilot in a fighter plane, or you're in a hospital operating theater, it will be regimented because you have things to do. But outside of those industries, the vast majority, you operate in Leadership 4.0, where your sustainable competitive advantage is not in materials, but it's in the human being. So if you can't manage the human being, who's your sustainable competitive advantage, he or she or it will walk out. Okay? And take the knowledge base into another organization.
Because John C. Maxwell says people stop following leaders.
Yes.
They don't just quit the organization. No. They leave when they decide to stop following the leader.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay, and you can't have a leader without followers.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
That'll be a walk.
All right. Yeah. So the leadership, everything rises and falls on leadership. Leadership rises and falls on mindset. Yeah. So there are some critical questions in terms of the process. And you ask better questions. Okay. You must ask better questions. So what are the questions you must start asking? Okay. What must we stop?
What must we stop?
What must we sustain?
What must we sustain?
And what must we start?
So stop, sustain, start.
And notice how I put the sequencing.
Yeah.
The stopping is important because that is what we are doing. Okay. And it's easier to stop than to start.
Actually.
And it's more sustainable to stop than to start.
Actually.
Because as for the doing, you're already doing it. So all you have to do is stop. Okay? And the sustain, you've identified the critical good things that we need to do, and you carry on. Excellent. And then the start is where you begin to put in new investments.
Right.
Okay. What can we do better is another question that you need to ask in terms of systems strengthening.
Right.
Okay. So, Charlie, the water arrived cold. Can we put it in a cooler or something so that
it's warm?
Or the smoothie arrived hot. Can we do something about that? So what can we do better? Okay. Then what can we do faster? Okay. So you're still strengthening the systems. You ask yourself, what can we do better? What can we do faster? What can we do cheaper? You know, sometimes we gold plate our processes. Okay. Sometimes we gold plate our processes, and the truth of the matter is that there are things that do not matter to some people. So when you take cheap flights in Europe, for example, there are some airlines that will get you from England to France for £20 or £30. If you don't mind paying to use the loo, if you don't mind paying not coming with any carry-on luggage, if you don't mind paying sitting wherever we tell you, if you see what I mean.
So it's cheaper, simpler, faster, better. What can we do faster? In wrapping up, Albright, what would you say should be the go-to for business leaders who are thinking about strengthening their business systems, and where can we find you also when we want to engage you some more? Okay,
so craft a compelling narrative for the change. Okay, because the world is VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, and you must change, because if you don't change, you die. Okay, and so you amplify the change by the vision, the values, and the value proposition, and then you accelerate, right? You accelerate the implementation by priority, focus, and resource allocation.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but we've learned so much with you, Theodore Albright, as we always do, and we're so grateful. Where can we reach you? How can we find you?
I'm on LinkedIn, but you can call me on WhatsApp.
Okay.
It is 020
right.
300
right.
9571. I repeat, 020 300 9571. And of course, if they call you Caleb or they call Bernard, you'd be more than happy to allow. A shout out to my dear friend Florence, Senor, Eben, and the team at the Family Office Africa.
We love your energy. Managing consultant, the Family Office Africa, Theodore Albright. Thank you always.
The pleasure's all mine.
Amazing.